Welcome to the first lesson of your home-based learning mathematics. Today I'm going to go through algebraic fraction. Okay, I believe this is not the first time that we have done this. You would have seen some example in worksheet number 8. Alright, for the start, the objective of this chapter, for today's lesson in particular, you will be able to simplify simple algebraic fractions. Okay. Alright. Now we have learned about fractions since primary school. There are proper fraction like 1/3 and improper fraction like 4/1. 4/1 is also a whole number expressed as a fraction, and 3/5. Now, are you able to list down some example of algebraic fraction? Okay, let's look at these two unique examples. Alright, we know that fraction consists of numerator and denominator. So, is a fraction of 1/0 a fraction? Or a fraction of q/0 a fraction? Alright. In actual fact, any fraction with denominator of 0, we consider it as undefined. Alright, they are undefined. Okay, any fraction with denominator of 0 are considered as undefined. Alright, any fractions can be reduced or simplified. For example, for this fraction 2/4, we can simplify it to 1/2. When we simplify fractions, we actually divide the numerator and the denominator by a common factor between them. In terms of algebraic fractions, if we were to simplify this example below, 3a/4a squared, common factor between them is a. So, the result will be 3/4a. Alright, and for the next example, we have a quadratic expression in the denominator. So in such a case, we will usually factorize the quadratic equation. Alright, if you remember your cross-method factorization, it can be used to factorize, or you can use identities for this case. So after factorization, you will see that the numerator is similar to one of the factors in the denominator, so we can simplify it by cancellation. Alright, so we will end up with a fraction of 1/a plus 1. This is how we reduce or simplify algebraic fraction. Okay, moving on to the next part. The first type of algebraic fraction is made up of one algebraic term in the numerator and denominator respectively. Alright, we can look at the example. Okay, we are required to simplify all these examples here. So for a, we can see that there's common factor between 2 and 6. Alright, so we can simplify. We'll have 1 on top. And between x and x squared, okay, x squared is actually x times x. So we can reduce the power of 2 to 1 in the denominator. And for y cubed and y, we can cancel. And y cubed becomes y squared. So as we write it out, numerator will be left with y squared, and denominator 3 times x times 6 times z. Alright? Okay, now let's look at the next example B. Numerator, we have a numerical value of 6. So between 6 and 3 in the denominator, 6 can be divided by 3, 3 can also be divided by 3. Alright, so for 6 we'll be left with 2, denominator 3 will become 1. As for the algebraic term, x plus 1 cube means that we have 3 of x plus 1 bracket multiplied to each other on top. So we can actually cancel off one of them on top, left with 2, power of 2. So it becomes 2 times x plus 1 square over 1. Alright, for this case I would like to highlight any fraction with the denominator of 1, we usually do not write the denominator. So I'll erase it away. Denominator as 1. It is known that for any whole number or expression that is written this way, the denominator is by default 1. So there's no need to write it. Alright, for the last example C. Okay, it's a combination of your fraction example in A and also your fraction example in B. Alright, in terms of the skills required to simplify. So between 21 and 14, 21 can be divided by 7, 14 can be divided by 7. So we divide both by 7. You'll be left with 3 over 2. Alright, and next we look at algebra for x. Okay, x cubed in the numerator and x in the denominator. So this can be simplified. X cubed on top will be become x to the power of 2. Alright, and the next term that we see in the denominator is y. Alright, but we do not have any y on top, so y should be left alone. Following that, for z, alright, z cubed on top, z below, so it can be simplified. So we cancel away. Alright, it's left with z power of 2 on the numerator on top. Okay, and for the last bracket of x plus 1, so we treat the whole bracket as a term by itself. Okay, as seen in example B. So we can cancel off the entire x plus 1 in the denominator, and for the numerator it will become power of 2. So we write out the remaining terms as our answer, and for the denominator we see that it is left with 2y. Alright. Okay. Do note that in questions that requires you to simplify a fraction, you must always make sure that you have checked the numerator and denominator, that there are no other terms that can be cancelled or simplified. Okay? Alright, no other terms, no more common factor remaining between the numerator and denominator. Then your answer will be considered correct because it's a fraction of the simplest form. Okay? Now, for the next part, you are supposed to discuss in pair if the answers are correct or wrong. Okay? So, maybe you would like to pause the video for a while. Alright, I will come back with the answer once you are done. Alright, you can play the video and check your answer here. Alright, for both example A, question A and B, both of the solution provided here are wrong. Okay, for example A, between 20 and 5, we can simplify them. Alright, 20 divided by 5 is 4. 5 divided by 5, you get 1. And between m squared and m, if we cancel, m power of 2 will become m power of 1, which is m on top. And n cubed and n to the power of 4, alright, n power of 4 will become n to the power of 1. So for power of 1, alright, it's also a practice that we do not write in power of 1 into our answer as well. Alright, we can just write the algebra term by itself. Okay, for b, consists of many terms. So between 5 and 15, we can divide both by 5. And between a cube and a cube on top and below, they can be cancelled off. The whole term can be cancelled off. And between b and b cube, alright, b cube will be left with the b to the power of 2. Okay, and if we see a c in the denominator, but there's no c in the numerator, so c is to be left alone. And the bracket term of b plus 1 can be treated as a term by itself, the whole bracket. So on top and below, we have b plus 1, so b plus 1 and b plus 1 square, we will be left with b plus 1 square in the denominator. Alright, that's the end for the first page of 6.1. Okay, I will continue in the next video for type 2 question, also under 6.1. Alright.